We got a tutorial from Tim.
The November 15th, 2011 Louisville Planning and Zoning Commission meeting is called to order, and there is a quorum present. Agenda item 2 is approval of the minutes of the October 18th, 2011 meeting. Is there any additions, corrections? If not, may I have a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Neal, seconded by Karen. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item 3 is a public hearing for zoning. 3A is consideration of a zoning change request from local commercial LC to general business GB on 4.7 acres located at 1280 West Main Street, further identified as Lot 2, Block A of Old Orchard Village East Edition. This request is being made by Kroger Texas LP, the property owner. Case number is PZ 2011-11-10. Pesha?
Good evening, Planning Commissioners. My name is Pesha Boomsma, Planning Administrator, and the request before you this evening is to change what is currently zoned local commercial to general business. It's about a 60,000 square foot building on roughly 4.7 acres. It was previously occupied by a grocery store and is currently vacant. The prospective owner of the property is the Leather Sofa Company. They have several businesses around the DFW Metroplex. And the reason they're requesting the zone change is because the showroom and retail component would be allowable within the local commercial zoning. However, with this request, there will be a carpentry component, which is only allowed in the general business and higher zoning districts. In order to address concerns regarding the surrounding uses, the residences, and the other businesses, the owner is prepared to submit some voluntary deed restrictions, which would basically limit the uses to just carpentry operations in addition to anything else that's currently allowed in local commercial. So a future business that might come in would not be allowed to introduce, for example, an auto sales. They would have to keep it within what's currently allowed for local commercial, or else just a use that allows carpentry, so another furniture business potentially. The applicant has also agreed to provide some facade improvements, which were in your packet. As you can see, they're planning to replace the glass that's over the entryway with a standing seam metal and some signage, and also upgrade the material, the masonry that's on the columns, and a banding on the wall. There are several members of the project team here tonight to answer any questions, and staff is also available if you have any inquiries.
Any commissioners, comments, questions for staff? Okay, at this time we'll open the public hearing. If anybody in the chamber wishes to speak on this item, please step forward and sign in on the list and state your name, please.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is David McNeil from the company Syncor, which is an operating company that represents the ownership of the surrounding shopping center. I'd like to speak for the zoning change and acceptance of it. We reviewed the situation. We've been looking for tenants, and we're glad to have somebody come in and do partial retail. And it's actually a corporate relocation to Louisville, so we're excited about just the additional employees and just some activity in the shopping center. We're still working on doing things in the adjacent shopping center. We have 150,000 square feet surrounding it. The old Walmart's about 80,000 feet. We have Hancock's and Tuesday Morning in there. We're trying to work on Tuesday Morning coming up to the front and having like a storefront. We're hoping to play off of Leather Sofa Company as a furniture use and find some more furniture uses, and really just generally get some more activity back in that part of the center. A lot of the tenants complain that since Hobby Lobby's left and the groceries left, they have to advertise where they didn't even have to advertise before. So we're just trying to, we're about 49% occupied now, trying to get that up to 90, 92%, and this would be a good step in that direction. Paisha and I've talked over the years. You know, we would like to do similar facade improvements as we have tenants, but you know, this property is separate from ours. Kroger is selling it to the leather sofa company, so we're just had to agree to the same deed restrictions and work it through to allow the same use because it was also prohibited in our REA agreement. But in general, we'd like to upgrade the center overall over time. We're having to do a lot of capital expenditure on a roof now. It doesn't really help the street curb appeal, but it's been a long time overdue, and we've recently secured the funding for that. So I'm excited about the project. I'd like to, you know, again, say we're for it. We've looked at it we tried to figure out if there was any downside to it, and we don't really see one. And I'm here to answer any questions. And as well, Mitch Lurie, the owner of Leather Sofa Company, is here as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McNeil.
Can we stay up here in case there's any?
No questions?
I had a question for either the staff or the gentleman that just spoke. That one thing that was maybe more curiosity, but it confused me. When I was looking at this picture up here, it shows on the color picture that you're looking at that there's new brick going on the pilasters, and then I looked down lower on the drawing and it describes metal cladding there. What is the story?
The new brick that is there, exactly, it's going on the columns and on the banding that you see. That will be masonry, and the colors are a bit distorted. If you're familiar with the building, it's actually much lighter existing brick, and so the banding that's going on will be darker, so it'll actually be kind of a reverse of what's shown on that image. And then the metal is the standing seam that's going on the roof, and the slanted quality will make it appear kind of like a what are those? Yeah, an awning. Yes.
Yeah, if you'll pull it.
I think the note's a mistake. We don't intend to wrap the columns with anything but brick.
Okay, so it's just drawn.
The columns will be wrapped with metal.
There's a mistake in the drawing.
Just a you know, and we would commit to that, or we can make a change on it and have it by the time it goes to City Council. Correct.
Okay. Do you see where I'm talking about, Paisha?
Let me grab my exhibit.
If you pull the drawing down further and look on the left side, see the arrow that says cover existing pilasters with metal cladding?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, if you want to come forward and sign in and state your name, please.
Sure. My name is Calvin Simmons. I'm a physician. I have the two spots that are adjacent to this that are also local commercial. And my question basically, and I'd like this to be addressed, in these are the ones I own here and here. This property now is a little bit different, and much of this is right here going down to here is a place where trucks travel and things like that, and sometimes trucks come and unload things either there or at my office. And I'm wondering, since there is a picture of the subject property going all the way back to that, is that going to terminate any ability for traffic to come around behind that thing? It seems to me if they're going to have a place back there to do carpentry work and that sort of thing, they would probably have to have some ingress and egress, and therefore it's probably a silly question, but I wanted to ask it whilst I'm here.
So you're concerned about the access to your property or the trucks coming in and out of the subject property?
This property currently, there is traffic that can come in from Old Orchard and come all the way back around, and there's a traffic light right up here, and that entire area is able to be traveled. Well,
It's just the way it's
sometimes delivery people don't figure out where they're supposed to go, and so they will sometimes come into this area here to deliver stuff to my property, which is right over here, because they don't get it, okay? And so I'm presuming, but do not know, and this is what my picture here shows, that all of this is going to be changed. And if all of this is changed and all of a sudden this becomes a building back here, then you have ingress from here, you have ingress from here, but you have nothing in that particular location. And I'm just trying to find out, is that
Sure.
over analyzation?
The building
I-
itself is not changing.
Okay,
It's just the whole lot itself is what we talk about.
okay.
Exactly. There would be a new process if there were going to be additional buildings included on the site.
Thank you.
Do we want to put it on the board just to start with? Just
Lift it up
property.
just a little bit.
Yeah, there's still,
We don't intend to change any ingress and egress in the back here. He needs those trucks to be able to go back
bingo,
into.
yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, any further questions? Thank you, Mr. Simmons. Thank you, Mr. McNeil. If there's nothing else, need a motion to close public hearing? Motion by Neil. Seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Michael. Opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item 4.
Got to make a recommendation.
Oh, okay. Yes, I'm sorry.
How about if I make a recommendation that
Okay.
we approve?
All right.
Recommend approval to city council.
Okay. We have a recommendation. Do we have a second? Seconded by Alvin. All in favor of the approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now, item 4, reports.
No reports.
All right, thank you. Commissioners, any comments, questions, concerns? Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion by Neil, seconded by Karen. I forget that every time. Every single time.